I mean, does it make us get our priorities screwed up? Are we so focused on business, we're not focused on the people who are already here, who have already made a commitment to Detroit, who already invested in Detroit? I suspect if we take better care of them, then new businesses and new entities will want to come to Detroit because of how the folks who are here are already being treated. 313-778-7600. We got callers on the line, and we love it. Let's get right to Deborah, who's on line 5. Hi, Deborah. How are you this afternoon? Thanks for calling.
Hey, Cliff. I stay in zip code 4204, and the private contractors, they did come down my street, and I live on Montgomery. But the thing is, Cliff, the people that live on the block, they need to get up off their butt and shovel the snow and shovel the empty vacant houses. They're always complaining, but some of the blame is on the resident. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You let your teenage kids walk up and down the street, don't shovel the snow, and then you call in on the radio station, always talking Detroit down. But if you always talking down, why don't y'all move? Nobody's not going to come here and just do everything for you.
I like the way you put that, Deborah. As a matter of fact, stay with me for a second, too. I suspect that if you had more people who think like you do, the city would be better in several areas, not just snow removal, but crime fighting and public safety and everything else. I think if you had people who took an interest and took their behinds up off that couch and started doing stuff in their neighborhoods, I suspect all that would get better. I think you touched on something very important.
And Chris, just let me say this and I'm going to let you go. I'm 64 years old. I work every day. I shovel my complete driveway, and then I shovel so when I back out, I don't get stuck. And you know what my neighbor did? Parked in the space. And you know what he said?
What's that?
City parking. You know what I'm saying? I guess, brother, I cleaned the spot out, and then he's going to come park his car where I cleaned out. But in front of his house is about 7 feet deep of snow. So don't blame it on city council. You brothers and you sisters, y'all get up off y'all stool and do nothing and help and stop down talking to the city. Otherwise, go live in the house. Thanks, Cliff.
Deborah, thank you. I think that you hit the nail on the head. Yes, we point fingers a lot, and we talk about what government is or isn't doing for us. But the truth of the matter is that we always have to be diligent about doing for ourselves. And what others don't do for us, we've got to do. That is what has allowed our people to become great, is that we ventured out to ourselves and did what needed to be done. You know, when we talk about Black Wall Street or Paradise Valley or these places where Black folks had built up a business district, that's what we're talking about. They didn't wait for the white merchants to come to the neighborhood. No, please do something for us. They said, I'm starting a store myself. I'm starting a hotel. I'm starting a bowling alley. I'm starting a laundromat. I'm starting a beauty salon. And it worked. And it still works for us. Deborah, I like what you had to say. 313-778-7600. Let's get right back to our phone lines. And I believe Brother John is on line too. Hey, John, good afternoon, man. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Russell. Russell, you explained it right, but you should have put it there. And the white folks came in and destroyed it too. That's what you got to put too about that the Wall Street and the black business, that business that is built on pennies and scratches, and the white folks come in and destroy it. That's another thing you got to put out there too. Russell, you talking about this Trump? It's business, baby. That character ain't caring about those poor people. Did you realize that character had the water he had down there over the train? He went on a hiatus for your people down there when they had all kind of train wrecks and so forth and didn't lose their lives and so forth the other week. Mm-hmm. They looked for him and he was somewhere on hiatus and so forth. And he said, drug off vacation. But listen, I mean, these people just, he is damn if you think that character cares anything about working people. He out for this big business, and that's who's gonna get them contracts, and that's who's gonna get most of that money and so forth. So I have to tell you, the people that really waiting on him to help deal with this, they forget it because they ain't getting no money in the Russell. I don't think.
John,
Maybe a little up here the down or something.
well, John, I agree with you. I think that's what this tax cut was. I think people getting, what, $80 a month, somebody called and said, or I got $1,000 and, ooh, I got some money back from the government. I think that was hush money. I think that's this money that working people are getting through this Trump tax cut and this Republican tax cut is hush money. You getting pennies, $80 a month. I just saw $50 was added to my check. I'm supposed to get $1,000. That is hush money because the very wealthy are getting hand over fist dough. And they're going to get it permanently, as one of our callers pointed out. This little tax break that the rest of us working folks are getting, that's temporary. That is meant to appease you, to make you smile a little bit while they laugh all the way to the bank. 313-778-7600. Let me get right back to our phone lines. We got Aiden on line 3. Aiden, thanks for calling. Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call. And with your last comment is the reason why I will not sit back and put it in stone that Mueller is even really trying to get, investigate Trump like that.
Now, that's interesting. Why do you think Mueller might not be doing that?
Because we know America, white, racist America is nothing but Satan. And Satan do nothing but lie. He'd tell you something just for a moment so he can get his big plan underway. So we can't believe nothing that they tell us until it's actually set in stone and we can see it. But other than that, I would choose not to believe them and teach our children not to believe them unless it's set in stone. Or we make it that way.
That's really interesting you would say that too, Aiden, because a lot of Americans are hanging their hopes on Mueller right now. They believe that Donald Trump is unfit to be in office. They believe a lot of things about him, that he's a crook, that he's a liar, that he is a self-serving businessman, that he has colluded with the Russians, that he has obstructed justice, and they're hoping that Mueller will get to the bottom of all of this and come out with this big bombshell. In the meantime, Trump is doing whatever Trump does. So if what you're saying is true, that would be a very, very sad development in this country if Mueller is a hoax. I hope you're wrong, although it's interesting that you even bring that up.
Well, it really doesn't matter to me if I'm wrong or right, because the simple fact is it's been too long. That's just like I had millions and millions and millions of my culture claim a white, blue-eyed, blonde-haired man is going to come and save us and end all this. And the millions from my great-great-great-great-great-granddaddy and grandmother has passed away, and he didn't come save none of them. So I'll be damned if I'm going to sit up here and relive that same lie.
Aiden, I think you have touched on a very important point. I appreciate your call a lot. I think a lot of folks feel like you do. How do you feel, folks? 313-778-7600. Let's go to Raymond, who's on line 1. Hey, Raymond, what's going on? How you doing this afternoon?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Listen, before I get into the budget and the things like that, the previous conversation for the other TV, you talked about Black Panther.
Cancer, you say?
They're talking about the Black Panther movie.
The Black Panthers, yes.
Yeah, I'm going back to what we were talking about, but I want to get this in. I know the Chris, have you heard about the deal that with Superman getting rid of the Klan?
Superman getting rid of the Klan?
Yes.
No, was that in the comic book?
No, it's a History Channel.
No, I didn't see that.
What happened was, there's a Jewish guy. He shot the Superman character. And the Klan did something to him, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so he was a producer. So he talked to his other producer, and they set up Zululand that the villain was the Klan. And they took off big time. And kids were talking up to their parents, and as a matter of fact, they got so bad that Klan put a contract on his life.
Really?
It's still, right now, it's still on.
I will have to try. No, how can I look this up? What should I look up? What name should I look up if I want to read more about this?
On the History Channel, it says how Superman defeated the Ku Klux Klan.
How Superman defeated the Ku Klux Klan.
And that kids went crazy. What the guy was doing, the villain was the Klan. And they put a contract on his life.
Wow.
And this right now still on.
I will look that up. I appreciate that call a lot, Raymond. I had never heard that before. That's why I love doing this show, because our listeners are some of the most knowledgeable, most informed listeners you're going to find anywhere. And I am always glad to hear stuff like that. Let me look that up. How Superman defeated the Ku Klux Klan. Let's go to Rick, who's on line 4. Hey, Rick. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Cliff?
I'm good, man.
Always a pleasure. Hey, look here, Cliff. People kill me with this Amazon don't want to come here. They didn't want to come here. You know, this city, man, has got some sort of recognition, man. I don't know why, but listen, Cliff, the big three is still here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't understand why. What have changed over 20 years besides greed? The big three is still here. And I'm saying all this to get back to what you were saying. If the big three is still here, it's enough to facilitate this whole city and damn near some of the state. I'm saying as far as everybody being gainfully employed. I'm going to say it again, the big three is still here.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say that, I'm saying this. Like you were saying, and I'm putting you in this clip, because if we make this city attractive, we don't have to worry about no dang people who want to come here. Now, in the 70s and in the 80s and the 90s, the big three, everybody wanted to come to Detroit. Cliff, can you tell me what changed?
You make an excellent point, Rick. I'd have to think about that. I don't know what has changed, as you said, other than greed. One thing I do know, though, and that is that if a company, a car company, anybody makes a ton of money in a city, then that company should be a good corporate citizen and be required, either by their own policy or by some other policy, to continuously give back to that city. Right now, we treat the big companies, and this has always been true. This has always been true. It's nothing new. It's not unique to Detroit either. But we treat these big companies like they are their own governments, like they are their own entities. And we pander to them, and we kiss up to them, and we offer them tax breaks, and we beg them and plead with them, please come here. And yet, you get a president who does what? Takes more taxes off of them, because he's one of them. Do you remember what antitrust laws are in this country?